Right now, your financial life is being controlled by something you can't see. It's not your income. It's not your job. It's not even your expenses. It's your mindset. And without realizing it, you're operating from one of two states: scarcity or abundance. One keeps you stuck. The other quietly builds your future. Here's the dangerous part. Scarcity doesn't feel like a problem at first. It feels normal. It sounds like, I need to be careful. I can't afford that. I'll wait until I have more. But hidden inside those thoughts is a pattern that slowly limits your decisions, your growth, and your ability to build wealth. And most people never question it. They just keep working harder, trying to earn more, hoping things will change, but nothing really does. Meanwhile, someone else with the same income, same opportunities, is moving ahead, not because they're smarter, but because they're thinking differently. And here's where it gets interesting. There's a specific moment, a small, almost invisible decision point where scarcity shows up. And that moment determines whether you move forward or stay stuck. Most people miss it completely, but once you see it, you can't unsee it. So stay with me until the very end of this video, because you're going to discover exactly how scarcity has been influencing your decisions, how it might already be costing you more than you realize, and most importantly, how to shift into an abundance mindset that changes how money flows into your life. If you're still watching this right now, it says something about you. You're not just here for entertainment. You're here because something feels off. Maybe you're doing everything right, working hard, earning, trying to save, but deep down, it still feels like you're not moving forward the way you should. And that feeling, most people ignore it. They scroll past it, distract themselves, or tell themselves it will get better with time. But you didn't. You paused, which means you're already thinking differently. You're the type of person who wants to understand money, not just use it. You want clarity, not confusion, control, not uncertainty. And here's what makes this important. Because once you start questioning how you think about money, you're no longer stuck in the same pattern as everyone else. But there's something deeper going on, something that quietly shapes your decisions, even when you're not aware of it. Scarcity doesn't show up as something obvious. It doesn't announce itself. It hides inside everyday decisions. It's in the hesitation before you invest in yourself. It's in the fear of losing money, even when the opportunity makes sense. It's in choosing short-term comfort over long-term growth. And here's the part most people never realize. Scarcity is not about how much money you have. It's about how you perceive what you have. Two people can have the same bank balance. One sees limitation, the other sees possibility. So they act differently. One avoids risk completely. The other takes calculated steps forward. And over time, those small differences create completely different lives. But here's where it becomes dangerous. Scarcity feels like responsibility. It feels like you're being careful, like you're protecting yourself. But in reality, you might be holding yourself back. And there's a specific pattern that reveals this clearly. Once you see it, everything starts to make sense. Let's pause for a second, because this is where most people misunderstand everything. They think abundance means spending freely, taking big risks, or acting like money is unlimited. That's not abundance. That's recklessness. And scarcity? It's not always about being broke. Some people earn a lot and still think in scarcity. So forget the extremes for a moment. This is not about having more or less money. This is about how you respond to money, because your response is what shapes your results. And once you understand that, you start to see a pattern most people completely miss. Everything comes down to this simple loop: thought to decision to action to result to reinforced belief. Let's break that down. A thought enters your mind. I don't have enough. That thought shapes your decision. You avoid spending on something that could help you grow. That decision leads to action. you stay where you are. That action produces a result, no progress. And that result reinforces the belief. See, I was right. Now the loop repeats, over and over again. But here's the powerful part. Change the thought, and the entire loop changes. Which means you don't need to change everything at once. You just need to shift the starting point. But how do you actually do that in real life? That's where most people get stuck. Let's make this real. Think about this situation. An opportunity shows up. It could be a course, a business idea, an investment, or even learning a new skill. Scarcity says, I might lose money. I should wait. I'm not ready. So you delay. Abundance says, what can I gain from this? How can this grow me? What's the long-term impact? So you evaluate and act intentionally. Now here's the key difference. Scarcity focuses on losing. Abundance focuses on growing. And this shows up everywhere. Spending versus investing, fear versus calculated action, short-term safety versus long-term expansion. But here's the question that changes everything. Are you protecting your money or protecting your potential? Because sometimes protecting your money too much costs you your future. And once you see that, you start making decisions differently. But there's still one missing piece. Because even when you understand this, you can still fall back into old patterns. Here's the turning point most people never reach. It's not about choosing between scarcity or abundance once. It's about recognizing when each one shows up in real time. Because in everyday life, it doesn't announce itself. It shows up quietly, in hesitation, in overthinking, in the moment you almost take action, but don't. That's the real battle. Not knowledge, not income, but awareness in the moment of decision. And here's the shift that changes everything. Instead of asking, is this safe? Start asking, is this aligned with the life I'm trying to build? Because safety keeps you where you are, but alignment moves you forward. And once you begin to operate from alignment, you stop reacting to money and start directing it. That's when control begins. Now picture this clearly. A version of you who no longer second guesses every financial move. You don't rush decisions, but you don't freeze either. You understand your money, your priorities, and your direction. When an opportunity shows up, you don't automatically say no. You evaluate. You think long-term. You move with intention. And over time, those intentional decisions begin to stack, quietly. Month after month, you notice something different. Less stress, more clarity, more progress that actually feels real. Then one day, you look back and realize you're no longer in the same financial position you used to be. Not because something dramatic happened, but because you stopped thinking the same way. That's how transformation actually looks. Subtle at first, then undeniable. Let's make this real for a moment. Think about your last financial decision. Not the big one, the small one, the one you almost ignored. Did you hesitate? Did you avoid it? Or did you move forward with clarity? Be honest with yourself and drop it in the comments. I see my pattern. Because once you can see it, you can change it. And when you start changing small decisions, your entire financial direction begins to shift. If this made you pause, think, and see your money differently, then you're exactly where you need to be. Subscribe to Financial Awaken with Aaron and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss the next video. Because this is not just about making money. It's about understanding how money actually works in your life, how your decisions shape your future, and how to build something real, step by step. No noise, no confusion, just clarity, strategy, and growth. And remember this, the moment you become aware of how you think about money is the moment you stop being controlled by it.